So Ted, I was on my way here to the studio to do these videos, and let's see, I passed a gas station where it was $4.89, which I think was a good price. $4.99, $5.02.
Oh, it's cheap.
Inflation's out of whack here, and this is Ted Thomas, and he's the authority on tax lien certificates. So Ted, how can someone help not go bankrupt from this inflation? Fight off this inflation? Do you have any ideas?
Well, yeah, I've got a lot of ideas, and I'll try to stay out of the politics of it because I have some pretty strong feelings that our younger generation's getting killed, and all the money's going to rich people, and this inflation is a killer. Now, I lived through the last 40 years of no inflation, but before that, we had Jimmy Carter, and the inflation went all the way to 20%. So when that happens, it takes all the money in the lower level of the market, and it just sucks the people dry. They become servants of the government because of inflation. Now, you think I'm kidding about this, but inflation is the worst thing that could ever happen to the country. Okay, the country will collapse if it continues. All right, so if you want to prevent yourself from losing money, you want to get involved in things that rise as much as the inflation do. All right, now, I'm not an expert. What I am is an author and a publisher and an investor. Okay, so I do what I'm telling you to do. So here's what you want if you want to protect yourself from inflation. So if you don't do anything else, buy the home that you're living in. Get that home, because that will probably go up as much as inflation. So there's a little protection for your money. Now, that's not enough. All right, you're going to have to think about investing. So land is a good investment. Now, when I say land, I don't want you to go out and buy, 40 acres in Iowa, but I do want you to buy residential lots where you live, because the roads are in, the electrical's in, the power's there. Those lots will continue to go up, and most people don't even believe in buying those. So I'm a big advocate. You want to buy hard assets. Now, hard assets, gold and silver, and a few of those things. Now, I don't know anything about gold, and I don't know anything about silver, but I know if I buy real estate, it will continue to go up about as much as inflation. So that's a little bit of protection for the little guy. Now, the Middle America is the market for what we're doing here today. Middle America is a big market, strong. It's what made the country great. But the government is suppressing that part of the market when they do inflation, because it uses up all their money for gasoline and the rest of it. So I won't go into the rest of it. Let me just give you the protection part. So the protection part is try to do as much real estate as you can. Now, don't get to the point where you're mortgaging yourself, because the mortgage is going to kill you, because the inflation will get worse before it gets better. I'm telling you right now, it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. All right. I'm not a TV guy working on the weekends getting paid. I'm just a guy that's been through it. I went through the inflation years into the 70s. Finally, Ronald Reagan became the president. And boy, Jimmy Carter was the nicest guy in the world. I got to tell you, he served his country as a commander of a nuclear submarine. He's a good guy, but he didn't know anything about finance. Okay, so you don't have to like the guy. You have to like, forget how, if it goes good guy, bad guy. You just got to understand the economy. We live in an economy, not in the White House running around in limousines. Sorry about that little political thing there, but that's the way it is.
Well, it's that's the truth, and that's what you described is almost like inflation-proofing investing, and a way to protect my future. So,
right.
What does it take to get started in that? And does it take a lot of money to get started in that? And how do you learn?
Okay.
I mean, what's the best way of learning?
Well, you can learn by doing everything that I teach. You can spend 2 to 5 years learning how to do it, or you can come to class and spend 3 or 4 months doing it, or you can do it, piecemeal. So there's a lot of ways to learn it. So let me put a website. You can go look at free stuff, and then I'll continue for a second. But my website is tedthomas.com/free. All right, now that means a lot. Free means a lot because there's lots of free video there, so you'll learn a lot from those videos. So you can watch them again and again, you'll get it, okay? Then in addition to that, you can get a free auction list. But the point is, if you're gonna learn something like this, because what we are doing is we're creating value. Now, if you can once create value with a business, you can get very wealthy. It doesn't matter whether you are Standard Oil, or whether you're Stephen Jobs doing the computer, or whether you're Tesla. It doesn't matter which one of them. They created value. Now, you create value when you go to a tax auction, because every tax auction will tell you exactly what the property is worth according to the tax assessor. So let's say the assessor says it's worth 100,000. Visualize the 100. All right, you got the 100. What if you can buy it for 20 cents on the dollar? Now, if you can put it back into the marketplace at 50% of that value, you just created value. You created value from the 20 to the 50. Now you're going to sell it to a flipper or someone that wants to fix it up. They're going to create more value. If you can create value in the market, the government is awash in these properties. They can't sell them all. Now let me hold this up again to you, okay? Every auction isn't this big, okay? There's no way they can sell all those properties. There's 5 to 10 on every page in that book. Okay, there's 1,700 properties. They can't sell that in one day. Okay, that's Los Angeles. Every county in the United States is selling these. I'm not the only guy that ever talked about this. You can learn this, and once you do, you can do it for the rest of your life. tedthomas.com/free, and you can get a free auction list.
And you're going to see a lot of other videos like this with a lot of great information, more insights that Ted offers. But hey, this is a real opportunity perhaps just to stay ahead of inflation and, do a little something more to protect your future, really, because it's a tough time right now, Ted. So what you're offering is it's a really viable way of staying ahead. And as Ted said, you're creating value. When you create value, I'm going to get a little bit of this is an American thing. That's what we do. Yeah. Whenever you're working with somebody else, you want something and you trade money or you for them and then you trade. Hey, everybody gets better because of that. So be a part of it. That's great. And it's gonna help you out in the future too. So Ted, it was great talking to you about this. It really was.
Thank you.
Take care now.